Right, I am live. I don't know how long it's going to take anyone to see this, of course, but I've just gone live. It's very much a bit of a random live. 12 seconds in. It's probably going to take a minute, 2 minutes to actually start for people to be watching, but there is somebody in there. Sounds good to me, pal. So Paul is obviously on this live at the moment. So cheers, Paul. Thanks for jumping on. Hope you've had a good weekend. Baz is on a murky Stonehouse beer. Leap of Faith. Reviewed it a while ago. So yeah, I just decided that I was going to pop on and do a live. Won't be for long. It'll just be for an hour or so, maybe till about 10 o'clock. And I'll be sensible because obviously I've had a couple of days drinking rather a few beers, and I had a couple of pints down Stonehouse before, and I've had one since I come home, had me tea, and I just thought, you know what, I fancy going live. And here we are. So what you drinking, Mr. Greenwood? Are you on a beer? No beer till Monday, Tuesday. Is working nights tonight and tomorrow. Ah, okay. You're being well behaved. As you can see, I'm wearing the top. The top today, and it wasn't a great result for us lot today. I can't believe we lost 4-1. If you actually look at the stats of the game, it was unreal. We had 20 shots to their 9, I think. We had about 300 more passes than them. We had about 10 more corners than them. We had more shots on target. We had 75% possession, and we still could not get a win. And not only lose, but lose 4-1. That was absolutely unreal. I can't believe it. It pretty much sums up my life at the moment. Yeah, it really does sum up my life. But hopefully things get better. I think I've got a bit of yeasty bit there. Let's go on to some of these comments then. I know there's 3 in now. We've got Paul who's commented, who I mentioned. Yeah, sobering starts to the season. Yeah, it's unreal because I've watched them in pre-season. And obviously you play lesser teams. We did play Nice from France, who are like a League One team. And we was all over. We lost 3-2 to them. But we was all over them. We really were. It's shocking. Shocking. Big game for us tomorrow. Who's us tomorrow? Mersey Beers, I'm guessing Liverpool, Everton. Is it Charity Shield or something? I don't know. I'm well behind on when you're not in the Premier League, you don't care anymore. I'm more of a Championship man myself, you know. Is it? What is it? What do they call it? What cup game is it? Oi, Baz. Great to see you live. Hope you are well, mate. You legend. I'm not a legend. I'm a legend. I'm a leg end. I don't know about that. Liverpool Palace Community Shield. That was the one I was thinking of. Let me just catch up. I've only got 2 comments to catch up on. Chris's beer reviews. Nice to see you, pal. Thank you for joining in. Yeah, a completely random live, even if it's just till about 10 o'clock. I mean, that's the plan at the moment. Hope you're well, mate. You legend. Oh, yeah. A few life things going on at the moment, but hey-ho. Life goes on, doesn't it? Liverpool versus Crystal Palace Community Shield. I mean, you'd expect Liverpool to win that. And I think they'll come out of that with about a 3-0 win, to be honest. But I did fancy Palace to win the cup that they won. I can't remember which one it was now. But I just had this feeling. When they were playing Fulham. I think it was in the quarters. I thought, you know what, I fancy them, and especially when they played City. I just had that feeling they were going to do something. So Mersey Beers should win that. Nunes officially gone. Someone just mentioned in work. Oh, right. and a warm-up for Bournemouth a week after. It's got to be said, I was chatting to a bloke down at Stonehouse, and I was having a bit of a chat about football. I think I was talking to somebody else as well about football, actually. It's amazing how well the likes of Brentford and Bournemouth have done since they've gone up to the Premier League. They seem to have managed to secure a place there. And obviously, over time, things can change, but they seem to have sort of like, got a good, solid sort of team. They got the fan base, they spend well, and they're staying there. They don't seem to struggle. They tend to be sort of mid-table, top 10. So that's really good. And Nunes has gone to Saudi. Obviously, he's gone there for the quality of football and not the paycheck. Lost 10 million on him, value-wise. All right. He was obviously gaining something out of it, but clearly Liverpool thought, well, lost 10 million, but they've also up their bid for Isak, haven't they? From what I've heard, they've gone up from 100 million to 110 million. So, and Paul is in from Rate My Beer. Go and check out his channel, and Mersey Beers, of course, and Chris's Beer Reviews. Go and check their channels out. Good to see you, pal. Well, or see you come on. Bit of a random live. Not saying I do very regular, but so I just thought I'd come on, drink some beer, have a little bit of a chat. Anyone out there drinking? I know Paul's not drinking because he's on nights, but if anyone else is having a beer, let me know what you are supping. I've had a couple of days at Great British Beer Festival, which was good. Met up with Simo Sups and Mr. B from Mr. B's Home Brews and Beer Reviews. And I also met up with the Kitchen Sessions and David Wilson. So that's good. It's good to put a face to David Wilson because he's been watching me for a long time, or well, I'm assuming if he's commenting, he's watching. So it's good to put a face to a name. Lovely chap. And the Kitchen Sessions as well, Alex. Pardon me. Right. Good evening, chat. Remember to like. You are too kind, Paul. You are too kind. Yeah, I could say all that. I don't need to. Paul's here. He can say like everything, can't he? Newcastle said he isn't going and Isak won't play anymore for Newcastle. Yeah. I can kind of think that the pair of Newcastle have seen their arse about him going, and Isak seen his arse about certain bits. It'll happen. It has to happen, doesn't it? There's no point in having a player there that is worth so much money. Obviously he's only worth what teams will pay for him, but there's no point in the player sitting on the bench not playing when you potentially got £100 million deal to go for, and I think when things just drag out, they're no good for anyone. They're no good for the player. They're no good for the club. And unfortunately, players do have so much power now that I think sometimes you just got to take it on the chin. It's shit. I know that. But, yeah. Chris, I know you're a darts fan, mate. How good is the darts at the moment? I'm loving it. I wouldn't say I've watched a massive amount, but yeah. I mean, I think it's very even at the moment. You just don't know who is going to win. I mean, Littler is sort of there more often than not. He's always going to be somewhere around there. But there's so many good dart matches that are between all the players. I mean, it's fantastic. It's good for the sport. And I had a little dabble at the GBBF, a darts competition thing. I scored 9 darts. I did have a go, and I was winning it for a bit, but then that went out the window. I got beaten. I was 3 points behind. I was winning, and then somebody overtook me a little bit later on, and I had another go after that. And then it was quite early on when I done it, But when I went back the second time, I'd had a few more beers and I just thought, do you know what? I am not going to win this darts thing. The beer is flowing too well now. So that's what happened. Mersey Beer's been out drinking, just come in, waiting for headache shift first. Cheers, Baz. Simo's there. Good old Simo, the man that I met up with at the GBBF, and it was a good day too. Really good day. PJT been on some heavy sessions. Paul John Tamaz, bloody hell, he drinks like a fish. I swear there's cod in the bloody sea that haven't drunk as much as him, honestly. But yeah, had a good time there. And like I say, it was great to meet up with Simo and Rob again. Great to meet up with David Wilson. And let me just go back to that one, yeah. Chris Beer Reviews. David Wilson is a great guy. He is a proper lovely bloke. And a proper, I don't want to call him a beer geek, but I suppose he is, really. But it's a really nice chap. Simo was a good crack, mate. My wallet is feeling it, but shit happened. Yeah, I know. I actually, I just chucked everything on my credit card. I put the hotel on the credit card. I just put everything on it, apart from me flipping McDonald's, but that's a different story. So my credit card is the bill on it at the moment is slightly bigger than what it was when I first left. But what the hell? I can pay for that over weeks, can't I? You know what I mean? Chuck 50 quid at it each week or something. It'll soon be gone. Soon be gone. Yeah. If anyone knows how to drink, it's Rate My Beer. Yeah, was the GBBF any good? Well, I've never been before. This was my first sort of attempt at sort of like a proper festival, if you like. And I think David's been down in London, David Wilson, and I think others have said it's a lot busier in London. I think moving it to Birmingham maybe didn't help. Simo also said he was talking to, because Simo likes buying hats. He's got a bit of a hat fetish. And he said he was talking to one of the blokes and they reckon they'll be struggling. They'll be struggling for what they charge for the stand and everything. They reckon they'd be struggling to come out of it with any real sort of profit, if you like. I suppose they're doing things voluntary or whatever, or taking all the stuff there and what have you. They would be struggling to come out of it with any profit. So I can only judge it on that. There was a lot of people there, but also the two halls were massive. And there was an awful lot of space. An awful lot of space in there. But it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. I mean, the mad thing was I probably actually searched around the venue more on Friday on my own than I did on Thursday with Simo and Rob and that. And Alex and David. I think we just kind of got there and we just hung around together and just had a good chit chat and drunk a few beers. But on Friday, I really sort of I was there quite early. I think I got there about 12:15. So it hadn't been open long. And I really sort of went round all the stands and that. And God knows how much walking I've done. I don't know. I've done flipping miles. But yeah, I probably made more use of it on the Friday than I did on the Thursday. But I had the company on the Thursdays and that was great. Really enjoyed it. So back to Simo. That taxi ride was the funniest thing I've experienced in ages. Oh my God. Do you want me? Shall I talk about the taxi? Shall I talk about the taxi ride, Simo? Oh my God. It was mental. So Thursday, we've decided to leave. It's getting near the end of the night. So we've decided to leave. What it was, they were chucking us out. They're saying, drink up, get your asses home. So we get outside and Simo is Mr. Uber. If anyone orders a taxi, it's always Simo, bless him. Good lad. So we got this taxi. Simo booked this taxi with Uber. So what he's done is he's booked it to drop me off and then go to the Premier Inn. Now, I was stopping at the Holiday Inn, but little did Simo know, and maybe he couldn't see on his phone because it was a little bit late at night and he'd had 1 or 2 sherbets, but there's actually more than one Holiday Inn in Birmingham. And good old Simo managed to book the wrong Holiday Inn to stop off. So we're driving around for God knows how long, bearing in mind we're only an hour away from, not an hour, a mile away from both our hotels. And we're driving around and you've got Rob in the back going, where the fucking hell are they going? We're only a mile from the hotel. We didn't come this way. But also before that, literally, right, bearing in mind the trip just went all wrong, there's 3 of us in the back. Jolie's in the front. She's got the comfy seat, understandable. I got Simo one side. I've got Rob the other side. And to be fair, the 3 of us aren't small size people. We are of the larger size, if you like. We're not exactly mediums. I end up in the middle. So I'm sat in the back of this taxi. I got Simo one side of me. He's already got in. I get shoved into the middle and Rob's dived in the other side. And I'm literally squashed as hell. And he ain't even got a leg in yet. He hasn't even got a leg in the taxi. So by the time he gets in, I'm sitting in the back like a little T-Rex like that. I got a glass in my hand and I look like that in the back of this taxi. So we ended up in this taxi for about half an hour. We get to the Holiday Inn, which happens to be the wrong Holiday Inn, which was about 2 miles away, something like that. And then Simo, the woman kept saying, the taxi driver kept saying, Simo, well, not Simo, but said you're gonna have to go into it and add another route to it. Poor old Simo couldn't read his phone. And when he did finally do it, I think the price of the taxi doubled. So it was rather hilarious. It was an eventful taxi ride home. God knows how much it cost the poor side. I think 30 quid. But it was all good fun. It was all good fun. It was probably the funniest thing, apart from Simo dropping his glass. But yeah, I mean, oh God, that was mental. It was mental, that taxi ride. So there you go. There's the story. I reckon I spent as much on Uber as beer. I think you did, Simo lad. I think you did. Probably not, but it felt like it. Hat fetish, yeah. I think Simo. I got the impression Simo likes to buy hats, and that wasn't just him buying a hat there. I got the impression from the others that he tends to go for a bit of a hat thing. Should take him to Ascot. He'd love it there, wouldn't he? Me and Rob were still laughing about it on the way home. Jesus Christ! I'll tell you what I felt like in the back of that taxi. If you drink a bottle of water and empty it and then squash it really, really small, that's what I felt like in the taxi. And when I got out the taxi, it was like somebody had blown up that bottle of water again. You just gone. It was mental. It was mental. Might not sound so funny as me, me telling you about it, but it was hellish funny when we were all sitting in the taxi. I felt sorry for the taxi woman, Simo. I really did. I bet she thought, what a bunch of flipping idiots have got in the back of this car. Honestly, it was that bad. Sounds like it. Wasn't a black cab, more like, yeah, it was. It was a Toyota something, I think. Toyota, something like that, I think. But it wasn't built for 3 big chaps in the back. That it definitely wasn't. Honestly, I felt like a T-Rex in the back of it. She was a nutter and all. She was telling you off, Simo. She was proper telling you off, I think. No, don't do that. Do that. Do that. David smashed his. Yeah. Oh, dear. 30 seconds later, Baz elbows his glass off the table. No, actually, it was in his hand. It was in his hand behind his back, as it turns out, because we were all like taking a picture like that, weren't we? So I've gone like that. I didn't realize he had a glass in his hand. But yeah, smashed that. I almost smashed one of mine actually yesterday. Didn't know. I actually caught it. I spilt some of my beer. I was chatting and the old arm went like that. I caught the glass and literally, before too much of it went anywhere and the glass fell over, managed to catch it. So I probably looked kind of clever, but half cut as well, which is never a good look, but you know, happens at these things, doesn't it? It's a beer festival. So, but yeah, that was it. I mean, there was so much beer there. I got to try some Three Fontaine on tap, Belgium wild fermentation sour kind of beer, if you like. Is it a sour? Is it classed as a sour? Is it a lambic? Whatever you want to call it. But I know Rob was really looking forward to trying that, but it never actually come on the Thursday. And I said, it's going to be on tomorrow. I know it is. And as soon as it come on, I was like, let's take a picture of that, send it to Rob. But yeah, that was enjoyable. That was good fun. Had to go on a 9-dart challenge while I was there, like I said. If I'd actually won that, I would have got a signed Phil Taylor shirt, which is quite ironic because I've got one already. I've got way too much dart stuff, but it would have been really mental if I'd won it. And the bloke who was actually hosting that stand, if you like, I actually recognised him because I do I've been to a few exhibitions. I actually recognised him from some exhibitions that he's been the MC for, which was another mad thing. As soon as I went up there were some other lads chucking darts and that. They finished their go. And the first thing I said was, do you do exhibitions? Do you go along and do exhibitions for people? He went, yeah. So I was having a chat and and that was that. So a proper mental there. I've seen the biggest, that was free, that was. But also they had half a dozen electronic dartboards that you pay £2 a game. They were normal dartboards, but they actually done the scoring and everything for you. And also the biggest table football I've ever seen. It must have been about 20 foot long, honestly. Table football thing, 20 foot long, £2 a player. You would have needed about 30 players to actually play the bloody thing because honestly, it was just nuts. You got more chance of having enough people to actually have their dinner around it. So yeah, there was all that. There's some other sort of like bar games further around, which I noticed. There was like bar billiards. There was a shuffleboard where you could win prizes and what have you. There was another food place. I noticed there was, which this was something I didn't notice on the Thursday when I went with the others. There was actually sort of like a place where you could buy loads of glasses, and I was going to message Simo and that because they had like all these old glasses. They had bar towels, beer mats, loads of old school sort of stuff. And I was so tempted. But with the situation at the moment at home, not knowing where I'm going to end up, I didn't want to go. I've got too much stuff anyway, bar stuff. So I didn't want to buy anymore. I thought it'd be sensible. I can't be leaving here with bloody 10, 15 glasses or something and bar towels and beer mats and pump clips and all sorts. But there was loads there. You had that. You obviously you had the malt miller. So if you're into home brewing, they had stuff for home brewing there. But it was good. It was good. I was expecting it to be busier, but there was a massive range of beers that they had on, and obviously that kept changing each day. David Wilson is in. David Wilson, how are you, David? Hope you're well, mate. Hi, Baz. Hi, Simo. Hi, all. Yes, Dave. Great to meet you, pal. Great to meet you. Genuinely. Hopefully, I come across on the day as I am, maybe on camera or whatever. Maybe I'll probably even come across maybe more down to earth in real life. But it was a pleasure to meet you, and you're a lovely man. Lovely man. Really enjoyed it, and I'm a bit of a sarky bugger, and I do like to take the piss. So if I did offend you at any moment, uh, I, on the day, I do apologise, but it was all in jest, all in jest. Knackered today, early night now. How's you? Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I think it'll be a case of enjoy it for tonight, tomorrow, wind down, have a little bit of a relax. I think I've got to go and look at some work tomorrow, and then get ready for the working week yet again. Yet again, unfortunately, the bloody days come around way too quick, way too quick. But yeah, it was good. It was good. I'm glad I've done it. I'm glad I've done it, and it was nice to have a couple of days away. A little bit lonely on the second day, I will say, but I did get nattering to a few people here and there. I do try not to interfere with what other people who've turned up are doing. But obviously, you're just talking beer, and that's all that matters. So. Luckily, David, the glass incident, I don't have to mention because there is a certain someone that has brought it up in the comments. I don't know who that was, but I'm guessing they might have been there. But yeah, and I do apologise for that. It was one of them, wasn't it? I didn't know you had the glass behind your back, really. And I just put my arm down and there we go. But at least you didn't have to pay for your replacement, whereas Simo did. And then he still borrowed somebody else's. Oh dear. Yeah, it's a good day. Good day. Nearly legless. Who's nearly legless? Well, apart from me. Hey, Baz, good to see you online again. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Just a short one tonight, really. Bit of time to kill. I just thought, you know what, I'm going to go on and just sit here. Won't be no beer reviews. It's just going to be an idle chit chat thing. But obviously, I appreciate everyone coming on to have a bit of a listen and a natter. Cheating on the beer tonight on the whiskey and ginger. Yeah, I'm not a whiskey fan and don't do ginger really, I suppose, only in food. But if that's what you like, you enjoy it. You enjoy it. Make the most of it. But yeah, I'm kind of just sitting here mine now. Really, think of things to say. Obviously, you can see. Obviously, I said this earlier on in the conversation. You can see. Oh, hang on. Let me just take David's off. You can see. Wrong side. Wrong side. I've got the mighty blades top on today, and they were about as mighty as a soggy banana, weren't they? To be honest, can't believe it. Absolutely hammered Bristol City and lost 4-1. Don't know where that comes from. That's life, I suppose. That's how it happens. Hopefully, the rest of the season will get better. If it's on next year, remind one. DSY. You've lost me on that one. Remind one day at GBF, one day in Brum. Yeah, could do that, yeah. So I'm guessing what you're saying there is do one day at the BBF, and then go round Birmingham for one day. Yeah, sounds like a plan to me. Sounds like a plan to me, mate. Happily meet up with you as well, because I know David ain't far from there. I think he's half an hour, he said, on the bus or something, GBBF or train. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Sorry, recommend. Something recommend one day. Yes, that's it. Yeah. Got you now. Cheers, Dave. But yeah, if it's on there next year, hopefully we can all meet up again. Maybe some others will meet up as well. But yeah, it's a good day. Good day. I know a couple of the lads know already. But yeah, being Elmy Todd, I got this Three Fontaine beer. So it's sort of like a sour lambic, if you like. Went and sat outside because the sun was coming out, and I thought, I'm going to enjoy it more outside with a little bit of heat on me back and what have you. And I got talking to a chap. There was three lads sitting by us. So I sat down at the table. I said, "Look, I ain't going to disturb you. Leave you in peace." Yeah, no worries, no worries. And yeah, odd comment passes, this, that, and the other. And I'm talking to him, and he said something about Sheffield, about being from Sheffield. So I was like, "So you're from Sheffield then, yeah?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "You're not a Wednesday fan, are you?" He went, "Yeah." I said, "Oh God." I said, "I'm a United fan." He said, "What, Man United?" I said, "No, Sheffield United." So a random couple of lads that I started speaking to, what's the chances of someone from the edge of North Wales to bump in to three lads? Two of them were from Sheffield. One was from Middlesbrough. To meet up with them in Birmingham or bump into them and then start talking to them. And one of them happens to be a Wednesday fan and I'm a United fan. It just mental. There wasn't too much grief. We did pass a few sarcastic comments, as you do, but no, they were sound. They were sound. They were telling me a fair few stories as well, but they were good few lads. Good few lads. If you're ever over in Ireland, let me know. We'll gladly show you around the best breweries here. Do you know what? I've never been to Ireland. I'm not going to say right now that I'm going to go to Ireland because of certain situations at the moment. But if I get the chance and I'm still doing this and you're still watching me, I will happily pay you a visit. Whereabouts in Ireland are you? In Northern Republic or just say Belfast, whatever. It don't really matter, really, does it? But yeah. I never actually got to. They had a Bullhouse Brewery at the GBBF, which I believe is Northern Ireland, is it? But I never actually got to try any of theirs. There's so much beer there, and you see stuff. I actually had my eye on a couple, and by the time I actually went back to them, they'd gone, which was a little bit annoying. Oakham Green Devil, the stronger IPA. I was hoping to get to try that, but never actually got around to do it. The Wolf had a Vault City tap takeover. Could have tried some mad beer. Yes, yeah. Wicklow. Now I know Wicklow have a brewery, don't they? I know they have a brewery because I think they've gone Trembling Madness. I think they're actually listed on their list of breweries, but never had anything. White Hag. I've had Wicklow or I've had White Hag. Don't know. I've definitely got the White Hag glass, but I have had a couple of Irish beers, but nowhere near the amount that I should have. But yeah, definitely be up for that. It might be 12 months or so before I actually get a chance to do that. But yeah, I'd like to go to Ireland. What sort of price is craft beer in Ireland? Because I hear things sort of like Dublin and Guinness, and you're paying £10 a pint or whatever. What sort of, in comparison, what sort of price is craft beer to Guinness, if you like, in Dublin? Some great craft brewers around there, yeah. Wicklow Wolf just up the road. So yeah. So there we go. Clear me throat, went a bit dry there. I'll get this. What time are we on? 9:25, 35 minutes. Yeah, I'll probably get this. I'll probably get another beer to go with it. Drink that one. And probably end up stupid prices. 6 and €10. Yeah. Wow. And that's the craft beer, is it? Or is that just standard beer? I know sort of like, Guinness, I hear people saying like, bloody hell, it's £10 a pint or whatever. If it's craft beer and it's stronger and it's better, I don't mind so much. But yeah, still not cheap. I was up bright and early this morning. Bright and early. I think the alarm went off at 6:15. I'm in the room. It's like, oh, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off about 4 times. I thought I just want to sleep. I don't want to get up. But I knew I had to get my arse into gear because I wanted to have a shower before I left. I wanted to have a massive breakfast because I had no bloody food on the Friday night. Less said about that, the better, but I was proper naggy. Yeah, so I wanted to get up early, get me breakfast, have time in the room, have a shower and that, and then I walked to the station. I could have got a taxi, but I just walked. It was like not hour and a half, mile and a half. I just thought I'd just take a nice casual stroll. Well, it took me half an hour. Quite enjoyed it. Fully expected to end up being sweaty as hell while I was walking around, but just took it easy to find as well. So quite enjoyable that was. All beer is around the same because the government introduced and a ban on happy hour promotions, don't we? So really, I suppose the craft beer side of it. Let me just shut that. The craft beer side of it, you're getting better value, I would imagine, on the craft beer side of things. Like I say, if they're charging like £10 for a Guinness or €10 for a Guinness somewhere, and you're getting a craft beer that's maybe stronger, I don't know how it works really. Better value? I don't know. You'll have to tell me, but yeah, I wouldn't mind going to Dublin and that. Well, even not necessarily Dublin, just anywhere around Ireland, really. Baz, it's why I'm staying in Brum. Plenty of places to eat and get snacks. Yeah. I'm a tourist, so pal. I'm a tourist. Pardon me. Vanessa Kitty is in. Howdy. I'm not even sure that's a woman. She pops up everywhere. You can't help but look at that and think it's a woman. Is it a woman? Is it not a woman? I'm certain she's been on Simo, or that name has been on Simo, so I know it's been on Simo, isn't it? So yeah. So excuse me if I'm being really sort of like ignorant, but I do apologise. So yeah, I will probably pop downstairs, get enough beer in a minute. Retired maths teacher. I have time. Are you female? Let me know. Are you female? Because I don't want to start thinking yourself you're not female or whatever. I want to get this right. But there's nothing wrong with being a retired maths teacher. And if you like beer, great. And if you're daft enough to watch me, well, you do the maths. So, yes, this is your night. Okay. Thank you, Vanessa, for joining in. Much appreciated. So any second now, I will disappear just for a few minutes. I will go and get myself another bottle of beer and carry on for another half hour, and then probably love and leave you then. But yeah, have you all had a good weekend? You had a good weekend so far? Yeah. My cellar steps store all my stouts. Cool. Like it. But yeah, have you all had a good weekend? All doing well? All enjoying yourself? I hope so. And hopefully I'm just like, I'm like that. You lot watching me now, I'm like that middle bit. It's like, do I watch? I don't even know what's on TV. Do I watch Ant and Deck? Do I watch Strictly Come Dancing? Or do I sit and watch this idiot until the news comes on and we get to watch something rather interesting? I don't know. I'm a bit of an idiot, really, aren't I? One more day in Brom. All right. I'll tell you what, this man, Mr. Wilson, darts on ITV. Mr. Wilson, I'll tell you what, he's up there with Mr. B for being a bit of a beer geek, if you like, and that's no insult. He's massive on his beer and he just travels everywhere from what I can tell from him. On Thursday, he just travels everywhere for beer. I think it's great. It's great that he has the time and he has the money to do it. And if that's your hobby, follow it and enjoy it. Don't be ashamed of it. It's brilliant. One day I want to do that. Doubt I ever will, but one day I want to do that. Darts on ITV4. Oh, yeah. Which one did you say it was, David? I can't remember. He'll comment. He'll comment at some point. I sit around planning fishing trips. You like fishing then, Vanessa? you don't. You're surprising me all the time. It's got to be said. You are surprising me all the time. Australia, that's it. Yeah. Just tuned in after Casualty. You're much less depressing. I don't know. I reckon I could give you a headache. I reckon I could send you to the doctors. You ask anyone that's met me, they'll tell you. They'll tell you that. As I said, David said they're in Australia. And he's just reminded me of that. I remember now him saying, Vanessa likes fishing and hunting. Very interesting. And she's got a gun on her thing. And she's the kind of woman that I'm too scared to meet now. And she's very clever with the maths. My best hunting and fishing times were my assignment to Alaska. Wow. Interesting. You sound like you've had an interesting life then. It's not just all like calculators and plus and minus by the sounds of it, what you've done, which is fantastic. Our neighborhood is currently overrun by rabbits until Vanessa stocks up on her bullets. Let's put it that way. Vanessa will be out there. She will be out there sorting the problem. Retired USAF. Now, I'm not an intelligent man, as you probably know. Military. Okay. US Air Force. Okay. So I'm guessing you're originally American then. Am I right, Vanessa? It's not Bill Murray, is it? One of them? Right, bear with me. Right, it's my last sip, and then I'm going to go get another beer, come back, and then we shall carry on the conversation. So don't go anywhere. Give me 30 seconds, and one shall be back. So feel free to have a conversation in the comments amongst yourself, and I will see you soon. Yes, American born here in Connecticut. I left the state for my cool. Just gonna knock that off. So carry on for 2 minutes. Pardon me. Right, we are back. We are back. Still drinking the same beer. Basically, Leap of Faith, Stonehouse Brewery. Down to me last 3 bottles, something like that. 3 bottles now. We're actually currently brewing another. I think they got a new cask beer coming on, which probably isn't going to come out in bottles or anything. It's just going to be a cask. And they're brewing another hazy IPA, which hopefully should be ready in about 2 weeks. And obviously, anyone that watches me and knows me will know that I will end up picking a load of them. So I think give that a bit of a thing. Because I've had this for a few months now. And the old sediment sits there, and I'm trying to get all that gunk that's in the bottom. Try and get a lot of it out. And hopefully keep swirling it, it'll break up. So yeah. And thankfully, because they're never too gassy, I don't get any explosions. Yeah, I'm going to pour it that way. Their hazies are good beers, but when they've been in the bottle for a bit, they do start, hazies in the bottle, really hard to do, but they're better off sort of drunk quite quick, and they lose that brightness. They definitely go a lot darker. As you can see, it looks a little bit dishwatery, but it's still decent. Not as nice after being in a bottle for a bit rather than the tap. The tap's much better. It's got to be said, but hey ho, that's what we got, and that's what we roll with. A couple of big lumps just dropped in there. So yeah, but the beer's pretty decent. It's got to be said. Right. Let me catch up. So we got Thomas Larson. How do you clean your beer glasses? Will the beer head be influenced by dishwasher soap? Yes, I would imagine it would. I wouldn't put... I mean, I don't have a dishwasher, but at the same time, I wouldn't put my glasses in a dishwasher. And if I did, I would definitely rinse them out with a sort of like, how can I put it? Like a scrubbing brush with hot water. I'll definitely give them a rinse after they come out of the dishwasher. What I tend to do, I said, I don't have a dishwasher, just a spot of fairy liquid, something like that, just a tiny spot. I get hot water in there. That sort of like bubbles it up a bit. I leave it soaking for a little bit. Get a scrubby brush in there, and I give it a bloody good sort of like scrub around. I keep using warm water, hot water on it. Just keep cleaning it, really. Just keep doing it until all them bubbles disappear. When it's looking like that soap isn't going to make any more bubbles, just tend to rinse it and just keep scrubbing it, really, until it's, 90% of the time, my beers come up pretty damn clean. There is the odd occasion you get some funny shaped beer glasses, but that's how I do it. Hot water, just a spot of detergent, fairy, whatever. But there's lots of other things you can do. If you are using it in the dishwasher, personally, I would run some hot water over it and just try and scrub the stuff out, because it will stick to the glass, and any soapy suds, any sort of oily residue will kill the head on a beer. This, for example, isn't because could be because the glass is dirty, but it's not the sort of beer that really holds a massive head anyway. So we got a few more comments. and some other people. No, yeah, exactly. I always do the hand washing. You know, like I said, I don't have a dishwasher, so I can't really knock Thomas Larson for that. But I would always say, if you're going to get your glasses out, definitely give them a rinse and that with some hot water and that, and give them a bit of a scrub just to try and get everything off. Obviously, hot water is good at getting any sort of detergent grease off. Nightmare cleaning a cracked glass, can never get to the bottom. I totally agree, mate. I don't have a proper decent, like, bloody, you know what I mean. And I wasn't being rude then by doing that kind of movement. You need a bottle cleaner, didn't you, for them to get through that narrow part and then open out. But I can normally get 2/3 of a cracked glass. But yeah, it's not ideal, is it? But yeah, I suppose if you're into making sure your glasses are clean, you will buy something that will clean it. But it depends on how much into it you are. David Wilson, hi Paul. Paul saying hi to Paul Greenwood. Kevin Elson is in. Always put mine in dishwasher by themselves, and some renovate. Been doing it for almost 5 years, no problems. Yeah, I can't comment on the dishwasher thing because I don't have one, so I've always just washed my glasses. But if I'm going to be finicky and try and pick up on problems that could be there, I would always, just for me, I would always just rinse. But if you have no problems with it, you wouldn't even think of rinsing. But yeah, warm water, a good sort of like scrubbing brush, and just give it a once over. Really, if you want your beer to be tidy, why not spend 30 seconds, a minute extra, just trying to make your glass good. No worries, Thomas. Don't know if that one is for me or the other comments, but much appreciated. But there's just my thoughts on it. Feel free to take everyone else's advice. Remember, all the beer, no idea. Clueless, as they like to call it. Liam McVeigh just passing through. Hope you're best. Keep it up. Thank you, Liam. Been a long time since I've seen you come on. It's good. Good. I know Liam's into the blade and what have you. He used to pass on info about the blade to me. Very little info. Not, don't get me wrong, he's no insider. But there was little things that he found out before me. Used to say stuff, but good to see you, pal. Hope you're keeping well. Paul Greenwood. Renovate. Right. Baz is thick. Told you, clueless. There's a reason I'm called clueless. I don't know everything about cleaning glasses and that. I just go with what I do and know. You can never stop learning. So there you go. Renovate is a good glass cleaner. Take that from Paul. After an impy, always need to hand wash. Tend to leave sticky residue. Yeah. And I tell you what I do with my glasses. Where some go, I just clean the inside. I always clean the outside. I clean everything. I clean the stem. I clean the underside. There's no need to clean the stem, is there? Or the underside. But I always clean the outside of the glass. At the top, I always clean that lip on the glass. I do my very best to try and get it, as good as I can, really, without being ridiculous. But a good clean beer glass, you shouldn't have any problems. Hence the reason I have so many beer glasses. I have had moments where I don't clean a beer glass for the next, beer review or whatever. But generally, I like to have a fresh glass for every beer review. Sometimes I will just give it a rinse, but I do prefer a dry, clean glass. I just think it shows the beer off better definitely than a dirty glass and a wet glass as well. because a wet glass will kill the head as well. That's what they recommend with the Heineken blade. So if you've got Heineken, whatever beer you got on there, they do recommend just wet the glass because their beers are quite carbonated. You do get a big head, but lining the glass with water will sort of like just take the edge off it. Yeah, absolutely. Lee Jones, I think some people have sticky residue hearing about cleaning. I got a feeling. Got a feeling. That is not an intellectual comment, and I've got a feeling it's not about cleaning glasses either. To a certain extent, I'm not that bad. I do like clean glasses, but I'm not that bad. No. Even Baz gets to a point where he's had a few beers and he said, "Oh bollocks to it, I can't be asked." I don't care what the beer fucking looks like. You know what I mean? It's one of them. It's mental. It's getting later on. I've got more people in. Until I'm getting old, I'm going to have to do like a live stream about 3:00 in the afternoon. All you big watchers come out late at night. I'm getting old now. I'm an old age pensioner. Thank you, Lee. Much appreciated, mate. Yes, no doubt you know that life's a little bit hectic and things are going on at the moment. So, you know, it doesn't make life easy, but I am enjoying doing the lives. I've always said I want to do more lives. And ironically enough, the situation at the moment at home is kind of freeing up a little bit more time. There may well be more. But yeah, life is manic. Life's manic. Work's manic. I'm going through a bit of a stroppy phase at the moment. I feel like the world and everyone else is against me at the moment. I can be a miserable fucker as well, but I do feel like it's like that at the moment. So, but it'll pass. But coming on here doing stuff like this certainly takes the edge off. And again, going to the GBBF, meeting up with Simo and that, it just takes some of the edge off. But life goes on, so you've got to get on with it, and that's that. But I do enjoy doing lives. I normally, it's just been one of them where I don't always get time, and that's that. But I do appreciate you watching. Always have done. Saturday afternoon, good for me. Can watch some pub when I'm out and about. The worst thing is, Dave, you'll probably last longer than me. You'll be getting bored by 8:00 thinking, fucking hell, Baz has gone now. Baz has gone. I'm still raring to go. He's let me down. Chances are, though, Simo and Mr. B will be about. Thomas Larson, I appreciate all the comments. Clean glass is an underrated part. Absolutely. I tell you what, it's not until you get into drinking, and I don't just mean getting pissed and doing this, that, and the other, when you actually take drinking as a hobby and sort of taking drinking beer seriously, a clean glass is a massive thing. It's like, you know, people might buy cars and go, well, it's only a fucking car. It takes me to work and back. Excuse my French. This is how I talk generally. I'm very laid back. And yeah, a car does a job. But at the same time, you can't knock anyone that wants to look after their car and try and do things. And it's like anything in life. Anything you enjoy, why not do it to give you the best experience? And having a clean glass for a beer is a minimal price to pay to get a better experience drinking a beer. I would rather sit there with a beer in a glass where the glass is clean and the beer looks fantastic, rather than just get given some shitty old random glass and a beer poured in it. that's dirty and there's no head on it and there's no fizz and there's nothing there. I would rather, what you pay for beer these days, these pubs should be making sure your beer comes to you in tip-top condition. Indeed, but stay positive, pal. Everyone has to deal with stuff at some point, and you just have to do your best to get through it. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I could sit here and sulk and moan, and I do sulk and moan, but I'm reasonably strong. I'm pretty strong, to be honest. But sometimes it doesn't make it any easier. But that is life. That is life. And like you say, you've got to get on with it. You either pull your socks up and fucking trounce through the crowd and crack on with it, or you collapse. I ain't collapsing. I might have the odd weak moment, but I ain't collapsing. Nearly legless. Love all the videos and your live streams, Baz. And sure, aren't we all grumpy buggers? If I wasn't giving up, I probably wouldn't talk at all. Or going out, I probably wouldn't talk at all. So me having, yeah. Life is tough. Can be tough. But there's a lot to be said about grumpy people. People think, oh, you're a grumpy, miserable bugger. Are we really that bad? Are we really? You know, I get called victim elder a lot. So yeah, probably, yeah, I'm a grumpy bugger, but I'm not that bad. Ask anyone on here. Well, ask anyone. You know, Simo's met me. Rob's met me. David's met me. I'm not I'd like to think David would come out and actually say, honestly, and I mean honestly now, I'd like to think he'd come out and say, actually, Baz, he's a good lad. He's a good lad. He likes a bit of a laugh. He is a little bit of a piss-taking bugger. He likes his beer, and I'd like to think that comes across when I actually meet someone. I think when you come on here, you know, I like to think in my videos, generally my reviews, I come across as quite fun. Definitely times when I'm a miserable bugger. But yeah, it don't matter, does it? It don't matter. I'm just talking shit now, aren't I? Either pull your socks up or you stay holding your socks, and that's yeah. Isn't my age, mate. You try bending down around there. Very hard. I have a theory. Grumpy people are actually perfectionists, to be honest. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, they could be. I'd like to think some of the stuff I do, I'm a bit of a perfectionist on. I think you know. I think there's things in the world that piss people off. I'm one of them. And I think as you get older, you become less tolerable to imbeciles. That might sound harsh, but you do. I'm not even an intelligent man. But I look at some people these days and I think, Jesus Christ, how the hell did you tie them laces up? Did you go to your neighbours to do it? You must have. Oh, hang on, wrong one. Need balance. Too many happy people. My grumpiness is for cosmic balance. Good man, David. Good man. That's what I like to hear. Baz, I was good. Pissed may be different. What, me? Pissed? No, to be honest, no, I have a bit of banter. I have a bit of fun. I don't think I'm nasty with anyone really in particular. I think like anyone, when you have too many beers, you can be a bit of a wally. But I think how I was Thursday, Dave, is me in general. You know, like I said, if you have too many beers, who knows? We can all like be a little bit daft or whatever, but it's not me in general. 3 years ago this week, I felt sick and went into hospital 3 days in. Wow. Yeah, and I can understand. I mean, you know, I when I see comments like that, you know, sometimes it's comments like that that actually give you a bit of a header wobble. But I suppose, like anyone, when you've got things going on in your life, nothing is your problem. When you see comments like that, it doesn't matter because you always feel your problem is the worst thing in the world. And I suppose when it's you, it always is, and that's understandable. But yeah, Jesus Christ, that's bad. That's bad. But I bet it's not stopping your life nearly legless. I really bet it isn't. Brilliant. Brilliant. That's really good to hear. Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, I mean, what sort of better time to walk your kid out of hospital, especially after what you'd been through? I think that's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Banter, bit of fun, nice chat about beers, all good. Good, thank you, David. Yeah, that's it. And I broke your glass. But yeah, you know, it's life can be a bit of a tough one. But we all got to go through it. So I'm going to stop being depressing or try and be sensible. And we're going to get back to drinking. 3 minutes to go. But if I'm honest, I will stay live until I drink this. So I wouldn't be surprised if I was on to about 10:30 now. So if you're really depressed and you're thinking about doing yourself over, it's probably best you went to watch BBC News. But other than that, it's feel free to stay. I'm not trying to be depressing. Bear with me just for a second. I've got a message on my phone. Right, so that's that side of things sorted out. But yeah, so anyone that's in now, we've got 9 people watching, massive 9 people. Get in there. But love it, love it. Got that nice community feel. It's like going down the supermarket, you see 9 people, you go, how are you? How are you? How are you? Some of them burp as well. What are we all doing tomorrow? Right. Here we go. I missed a few now. Yeah, and you know, I do think when you get older, you become less tolerable to certain people. And again, like I say, that can come across as you being a grumpy old sod or this, that, and the other. But and I don't think younger people actually realise. I mean, I think we're all different anyway, aren't we? We don't all want the same thing. We don't do the same thing expected. But I do think when you get older and, like I said, younger people might look at you and go, God, you're miserable. You wait until you had another 20, 30 years on you and you've gone through life and you've seen shit and you just think, oh God, I can't be arsed for this. No, I'm at that stage, unfortunately. I'm 54. So I'm no spring chicken. I'm not exactly old, but I'm no spring chicken. But there's certainly that age, I would say, when you get to about 50, you think, oh God, I can't be arsed for you. Why am I trying to be nice to you? I can't be bothered. I'm glad you never stopped YouTube, Bazza. You always had a passion for beer and you still always continue what you enjoy. Yeah. Again, you know, I like doing it. Some of that was down to certain things as well. And the same certain things told me to keep doing it as well, which is mental, isn't it? It's mental. You get told off for doing stuff, too much of it, and then you get told not to give it up totally. You can't win, can you? You can't win. But yeah, I'm glad you keep watching me, Lee, and I'm glad you enjoy it. I think, you know, it was me trying to do something for someone else in the best possible way. And I felt that if I couldn't do it full on, I had to stop it. It was the best way. But, you know, things have turned around. But I did have a month off. And I think when you do this, you do need a break. You need a break from it. That said, I'm steamrolling through beers now. But I haven't really got much to review. It's got to be said. I haven't got much to review. Nearly Legless, going to crack open a Stiegl Goldbrow. Decent beer. Reviewed that. Reviewed it while I was in Carnarvon. The video actually went up about 2 months after that. But it's a decent beer. Decent beer. Is it the 5% one? Not the 4.5% one. Fuck me, I'd rather do myself over than watch a BBC. Well, I've got something going for me. I'm better than the BBC. I should charge £75 a year. Get in there, make some money and entertain you lot. I'll take it, that's a no. And Thomas Larson, my last beer before bedtime, Baz. Baz in the chat will decide IPA or stout. Okay, Thomas has come on. Don't let me decide this one. I want the chat to decide an IPA or a stout. All I will say is what IPA is what IPA is it, and what is the ABV? What stout is it, and what is the ABV on that? Just because I'm curious, but I'm going to let the chat make that decision. Really am. I'm, you know, it's not about me. It's about you. Let the guys in the chat decide and make that choice. So everyone in the chat, and if it gets to a draw, I'll pick one. I'll pick one if it gets to a draw. Lee's put stout. Nearly Legless, stout for a sleeper. Is it a strong stout, though? Is it a strong stout? I spent a bit on beers today. Shopping Stursey has Older Siren, so got 3. And another shop. Good man, Dave. Good man. Oh, the Hopper's in. Mr. Hopper. Go and check out his channel as well. Here we go. The Hopper Reviews. Go and check his channel out. He's very much like an ALA kind of beer reviewer and does all this technical stuff. I'm still struggling to send text messages. So you definitely get to get something different from him. Does a lot of shorts and polls and that. So go and check out his channel. Hopper in, literally hopping, having to use a freaking Zimmer frame all week. Don't worry about it, pal. Don't worry about it. We are all here just chilling out. Stout will settle better on stomach. David said hi to the Hopper. And Hopper has said hi back. So I'm going to go back to Thomas's comment. Last beer before bedtime. Baz in the chat will decide IPA or stout. Well, do I put the cat amongst the pigeons? Most people are saying a stout, Thomas. I'm going to put the cat amongst the pigeons. IPA. But please let us know what the beers are. What beers are they? What have you got? If you've got an Impy Stout or something like a Brewdog Punk IPA, which I don't believe you have, but if it's somewhere along them lines, obviously I'd go for the Impy Stout. But we need to know what beer you are drinking and the ABV. Because I think if you want us to take a pick, We need to know the beer. Sack Baz doesn't have a clue. Sack Baz. Yeah, but he might have a Guinness. That's a stout, isn't it? But he also might have a 9% triple IPA. Right, here we go. Thomas is back now. Thomas is back. Chocolate stout, 5.5%. Oh, oh, oh. Now that's a tough one. That's a tough one. And poor old Hopper, I've not had a beer for over a week because of health issue. I'd even drink Brewdog right now. But if you wait long enough, I'll send you a Carlin over. Or a Foster's. Or if you're lucky, I might even send you a Carlin, a Foster's, and a Carlsberg. And if you're not lucky, I'll send 2 Carlin, a Foster's, and a Carlsberg. So, right. Thomas has commented there. I'm not that sick. Thomas has commented. So, are the other guys in the chat still going for the chocolate stout or the 6.8% IPA? See, you're all fucking coming back to me now. You're all coming back to me. See, yeah, see, you're all coming back. Hey, fucking clueless. I'm not. So we're in a bit of a stalemate here, aren't we? So I think we're pretty even on the votes. Right. Thomas. Good old Lee. Thomas, what do you prefer? Do you prefer stouts or IPAs? And what's the weather like where you are? I'm going to try and be very like politician now. Talk a lot of bollocks, which I do anyway. I'm going to try and dodge questions. I'm going to try and dodge questions. I think if it's warm where you are, or warmish, I would go for the IPA. If it's rather chilly there, I would go for the stout. So David Wilson's gone for the stout. I tell you what, we're not helping you here, Thomas, are we? We're not helping you here, Thomas. We've got a lot of people sitting on the fence here. I'm getting thirsty. I know you're getting thirsty. Is it hot there, Thomas? Tell me. I've got to admit, a Swedish stout, I would imagine, would be better than a Swedish IPA. If you say it's rather chilly where you are, go for the stout. Chocolate stout. A chat full of splinters. Oh, dear. It's high now. There you are then. There you go. There's your answer. Who wants a chocolate stout when it's off? No one wants a bloody chocolate stout when it's off. Take the IPA. Let us know what it's like in the comments. Exactly. Thomas knows the score. I like a stout like any man. But there is a time and a place. And when it's hot, that ain't the time or place. If you're talking 3 degrees, I'd be tempted to sit in the old house and have a stout, chocolate stout. I could handle that. If it's 3 degrees outside and you're a little bit nippy and you've got eating on. But if it's a warm day, yeah, I go for the IPA. Right. Beer Fan TV. He's popped in. Stout's best warmer. Yeah, they're best. They're best warmer, but I wouldn't say they're best in warmer weather. Personally, that's my opinion. Beer Fan TV. Welcome to the old dark beer review room. It is still downstairs, but this is like an office thing. I've still got dart stuff. And my laptop's up here, and I'm doing it on a laptop. So the room is still there. Some of the reviews I do come from there. Lives I tend to do up here in a little room out the way. So yeah, and that could all be changing soon. Who knows? Who knows? But good to see you. Good to see you popping in. And we still never got a dart thing going, did we? I think I was supposed to be doing the dart thing with Beer Fan TV because he's into dart. Backdoor voting, eh? Bazza Trump, isn't it? Bazza Trump has decided what's going on. It's always a fix, pal. It's always a fix. It's what keeps you all like interested. But yeah, God, I'll tell you what. Tell I'm getting old. Having a man flush. Rather warm in here. The old syrup is going mental with this rigging. Oh, God, yeah. I'll tell you what, it won't be long before it's a bloody syrup. Get a bit thin there, isn't it? I used to have air there at one point. Long time ago now, though. Long time ago since I've had air there. Thoughts on dark IPA? So black IPA, love them. Love them. I do love a black IPA. I had, while I was at the Great British Beer Festival, I had the Midnight Oregon Trail double IPA. So basically a double black IPA. That was banging. I actually went to the bar and I was in 2 minds about what beer to get. And there was a sour, which, if I'm brutally honest, I think it was from Double Barreled. Lemon sour. Like I say, I think from Double Barreled. It was a toss up between that and the double black IPA. I had tasters of each. And I actually went for the sour first and then done the double black IPA after. Both really good beers. Both really good beers. I wanted to try the sour, especially the sour, because sometimes they don't always hit the spot for me. So I wanted to make sure that if I was going to get it, I did like it. And I just tried the black IPA because I thought, why not? Let's get a taster out of it. But ended up drinking them both. Really good. Really good. Yeah, definitely. Really good. For me, it's funny because you get a lot of odd styles that come out, don't you? You know, we've had cold IPAs and you get black IPAs and you get this IPA and you get that IPA. I think the black IPA is such an underrated style, and the black double IPA was amazing, 8%. was absolutely nowhere. It tasted really good, so well balanced. There was nothing overpowering. You got the dark side of the beer, and you got the hoppiness of the beer, and it just works so well. For me, it was absolutely spot on, spot on. It was, mate. It was outstanding. I really, really enjoyed it. Hoppers, mate, hope you well. I've got to go again. Was popping on to say hi. Have a good night. Catch you again soon. Hopper Zimming using Hopper out. Thank you, Hopper, Rob. Thank you very much for popping in. Much appreciated. I am on a chat anyway with Hopper, sort of like a WhatsApp group thing. So I do get to see him. But yeah, big thank you for popping on. Have you had any decent brews on the pinter? I liked using, just didn't enjoy the cleanup after. The first brew was the best. Yeah, I mean, you've got to take the pinter brews for what they are. They're syrup. They do, if you're going to keep it simple, they're home brews at best. They like to call it craft beer or whatever, or you get these craft thing. They're not there, are they? They're home brews. If everything goes well, they're decent. Yes, you've got that cleaning up thing, but that's what you've got to expect from doing something like that. You've got the perfect draft, haven't you? So it's a lot easier having that. I think you've got to have the incentive to want to clean stuff up and have a go at it and that. But yeah, I guess it is very much of a 50-50 thing. I know Mr. B, he's doing like grain to glass sort of brewing in the pinter. That is something I'm very interested in getting into. But again, it's more moither. I've had some good beers on the pinter. I've had some fucking disasters, if I'm honest, at times. But yeah, I think you got to go into home brewing to a certain extent, not expecting too much, but also expecting that whatever you do, to a certain extent, comes down to what you do. So you've got to make sure everything is sterilized. You've got to make sure everything is spot on. You've got to try and make sure the temperature is exactly right, because little differences will probably make a huge difference in the end result of the beer. But I like the pinter. I would like to start doing some like grain to glass kind of stuff that Rob goes on about. But yeah, it's all right. I'd like to do a few more beers as well. The presses, but I think to get the best out of the pinter, you've got to be 100% committed. You've got to be like trying to make sure everything is perfectly clean. You've got to be making sure everything, like brewing the beer at the right temperature and everything. And it's advertised as a very simple, just chuck it in and do it. It's not quite that simple, is it? Nothing is ever that simple. But I will persevere with it. IPAs, for me, are very hit and miss. Some dippers have an amazing mouthfeel and quite drinkable. Hate hops for hop's sake. I love hops. Me personally, I am a fucking hop monster. I love hops, and I love double IPAs. That's my favorite style, I would probably say. I'm a bit of a sucker for a double IPA. David Wilson is, I'm guessing, still here as I'm working down my comments. But I started on the double IPAs quite early on Thursday. I can just drink them all day. Well, I can't drink them all day. I can drink them all day, but normally by halfway through the day, I'm pickled. But I could drink them all day. I just love hops. I love that big, bold flavor. I love the big mouthfeel. But that said, there are, over the last few years, beer has changed, and I don't think double IPAs are as good as they used to be. Lee, have a great week. Have a great rest of the weekend, Baz. Great to have a catch up, and catch you next time. Thank you very much, Lee. No doubt you've probably gone now because it's been ages since that, but I do appreciate you coming on and commenting and watching the channel and supporting it. So enjoy yourself, pal. You enjoy your weekend, And no doubt we'll catch up in comments another time. David Wilson said, cheers, Hopper. So I'm way behind now. Will be interesting to see how Rob's beer turns out using the pinter. Yeah, it will be. It will be. And I'll tell you what, I really do look at Rob and I think, geez, you know how to brew beer. Like, you know, I come on here, you know, people do beer reviews, they give their opinions and that. But Rob genuinely is a brewer, isn't he? He gives a shit about what he does. He has time to do it. Jolie is probably very understanding with lots of stuff and what have you. But I love his passion for it. I think it's great. And I did say to Rob in a message, and I was supposed to talk to him on the Thursday and never actually got round to it. But a bloke I've done work for. There used to be a brewery around where I live called Offers Dyke. And it started out as a little brewery and that. And it was basically this bloke I worked for. It's a hell of a long story. He worked out in Saudi Arabia years ago. Bless him. He's an old man. I think he's got dementia and that now. And I've done work for him, like I said. But he worked out in Saudi. So people couldn't drink beer, but he used to brew his own beer and that. He managed to brew his own beer out there. And he was called John the Brew. And then obviously he's come back and he started brewing around here and he had a home brew shop and everything. But apparently his daughter, who I tend to contact about doing work for him, says he's got all his old brew recipes and everything. And I'm hoping at some point I can have a chat with her and maybe get a recipe or two off him and send it to Rob, hoping that he can maybe try and transfer that in the pinter and see what the actual beers were like. I mean, I've heard lots of comments. I know some people have said the beer was good. Some people have said Offersdyke Brewery and the beer they had then was fucking shit. I don't know. But it'd be really interesting to send the recipe off to Rob and him have a go and actually see what the beer was like. Because in a funny kind of way, you're keeping a brewing, some kind of sort of like brewing history alive. And I know Rob loves his brewing and that, so I think it'd be really good. It'd be interesting to try some as well. I mean, if I'm honest, thinking about it, when you do think about it, you think, brew it, Rob, send me a couple of bottles because it'd just be so interesting to try. But yeah, you know. So that was replying to that comment. I go on a complete tantrum. How anyone even watches me, I never know. Autumn is approaching. Got to enjoy smoke. Oh, smoke. Oh, God, yeah. Smoke German now. At the GBBF, we got the kitchen sessions. Anyone that doesn't know the kitchen sessions, Alex from them, he does beer reviews and that. And we got him onto a smoked beer and he actually said, oh, my God, that is flipping amazing. And he doesn't like smoked beer, but we got him onto a German. We got him on Schenkerler Rausch beer. And honestly, you just can't beat a smoked German beer. Everyone's different, obviously. I got a few hiccups as well coming up. But yeah, smoked beer. If you like smoked beers, you ain't going to beat a German smoked beer. Absolutely fantastic. And David Wilson, last comment. Put that. Come on. Dippers brewed at Two Flints are worth a try. In my opinion, there's some of the best in the UK. And I've only tried one. I think I said that to you, didn't I, on Thursday, Dave? I've had Two Flints Big Jack. And I had a Bright IPA, which I said was described to me as like a standard IPA, but bright, fruity, almost an IPA with a New England feel to it. But yeah, I mean, the double was fantastic, and that was reduced, I think, not because it wasn't out of date, but I think they just like to try and rotate their stock quick. I paid £4.50 for that, and the review is coming up. It is coming up. It's due to be released, and I think I'm certain I said £4.50. That is a fucking banging double IPA. I mean, that was just robbing the brewery in a sense, but I suppose the brewery won't be robbed because the bottle shop that I ordered it from was banging. But it was excellent beer, and for me, I love the old dippers. So quite a few people have dropped off now because I'm obviously boring everyone. And we're at 10:30. 10:30. I was going to finish at 10 o'clock, but I'm going to finish now. I don't want to drag on for too long. So what I'm going to do, anyone that wants to say bye, I'm going to start closing it down now. So I'm going to love and leave you all. I do appreciate everyone that has popped in on the comments and the chat. It gives me a little bit of company. And I've enjoyed it. I enjoy doing these odd lives here and there. Really enjoyable. Hopefully it's enjoyable for you guys watching me. I know I'm a boring old sod. But yeah, really enjoyed it. And I like everyone interacting, and it's fantastic. So I will say bye to everyone now. David Wilson, cheers, Baz. Great to meet you this week. And fantastic to meet you, David. Honestly, a proper lovely bloke, really. Take it, Andy Baz. See you on the next one. Yeah, so I will love and leave you all. If you are going to comment and say bye, get it done soon. So I'm going to give you about 60 seconds. If you don't, it don't matter. And I'm going to say enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And it's perfect timing because I think the seal's gone down there. So I'm going to have to go for a pee in a minute. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. Hopefully I'm going to bring you a few more lives. I do plan on doing some food challenges. I did have one that never actually went ahead from this weekend, and I got rather naggy on Facebook. But hopefully, yeah, there's going to be some more food challenges, spicy ones, big plates of food thing, and they'll be coming up at some point. But thank you all for watching. Like I said, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you again. If not on another beer review, well, it will be another beer review, but I will see you at some point on another live stream. So look after yourselves. Bonjour.